This feels so weird. Okay. Hey gang! I'm back! I know so many of you guys missed me. Also, excuse the mess. I just moved 9 months ago. First, I want to do a little YouTube studio check, see what's going on. Okay, I'm at 1,733 subscribers. Thank you. I don't know how I kept growing even though I was on a break, but I've gained some new comments. Anyway, thank you so much for all of the new subscribers. I appreciate all of you guys, and welcome aboard. We got new content now, so this is so weird. I was uncomfortable in front of a camera before I went on my break, and now it's like 10 times worse. Bear with me here, okay? It's been a minute. I don't know if I'm gonna do like full like a life update kind of thing, or make another video similar to the one that I made, stuff that's been on my mind. Maybe I made that one around this time last year, so like maybe I'll do an update. I don't know. I got a lot of things in the works, which is a crazy crazy thing to say. In the works, like I'm some sort of actually important person on the internet. I had another video that I was gonna make before I went on my break. It was gonna be a video about JoJo Siwa, but I scrapped it because it became very outdated very fast, and it was gonna be 45 minutes long and very hard to edit. At that point in time, I was just not able to make it. I'm rambling. I should probably get into the video. You know, we have chapters, okay? And of course there's gonna probably be a snarky person in the comments that adds a little timestamp, like this is where the video actually starts, so I'm trusting you guys. Even though I've kind of like branded myself as like a yapper, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now, I am probably not going to be talking about my break and like what went on. Maybe one day once I'm more comfortable, but it's still a healing wound. You know, the stitches have gone out, but the stitches are healing. We're being careful. For this video, I wanted to talk about a variety of things. Some that happened last year, some things more recent. It is June, so there's a lot of stuff happening. I'm not gonna go too in depth with everything, and like some stuff is scripted, some stuff I just have the topic and I'm just gonna talk about it and see what happens. And there's a few things that I might mention here and then make a longer video about, but for now, let us get into our first topic here. This show was a lot. It was a lot. The hype has like kind of died down now since I watched it, but I wanted to bring it up in this video just because it kind of seems like up my alley of what I used to make. My reaction to the cinematography, the acting, and the actors is all very positive. There wasn't a single weak link in the show. And as for the storyline, that was also really good. My main issue of the show kind of stems from who they decided to focus on for the majority of its runtime. I understand that this show is about men, so focusing on men in the show and how the manosphere affects men is what it should have done. But I do wish they went more into detail about how the murder affected the victim and the families of the victim. They do this a little bit with Katie's best friend, but not really about anybody else. I understand it was probably maybe trying to criticize the shunning of women by actively doing it, but so many female characters in this show were extremely dry, and you can make female characters who aren't dry while also making a show centered around men. But also, they wanted to show the effects of the manosphere, but the people that the manosphere affects the most is women. And my reaction to the content itself, I mean, a lot of people were saying it's shocking or scary, and for me it wasn't really anything I hadn't already seen just because I am fairly online. I understand how the manosphere affects young boys, I understand how it affects women. I was already aware of everything in this show, and I think most people were. This show just kind of made me sad, especially someone who has a younger brother, and who in the future might have sons, showing the progression, the small ways media can affect people, and the deadly consequences of that. I'm also glad that this show got as popular as it did, especially since parents are watching it, but for me it kind of left me wanting a little bit more out of it. I still like it, and I recommend people watch it, but not even one episode dedicated to Katie, like the actual victim. Maybe it wasn't necessary, I'm not sure. Like, maybe you didn't need to know a lot about the victim. So that, wait, that actually makes me sound, no. You don't need to know anything about the victim to feel bad for them. But I don't know, it just feels a little like, I don't know. I don't feel bad for Jamie, like a lot of people online ended up doing. I was bullied a lot growing up. I never killed anyone. I was a victim of toxic masculinity. I didn't kill anybody. I grew up thinking I was ugly. I never killed anyone. I know you can argue, as I often do, that I'm not every person. Some people aren't going to react the same as I do to the same experiences, but that does not mean that those people need my empathy. You lose any empathy that I have for you once you stab somebody.
Okay, I just wanted to like jump in here really quickly and bring up something that I think is important because I realized that me saying this might make me sound like a absolute bitch. So let me just clarify a few things. Obviously, I have empathy for people who are killers. I think Jamie's character just isn't someone that I have empathy for in regards to like what he went through. Like obviously like it's really sad like being bullied and that's really difficult, but like I don't feel bad for him because of like what he ended up doing. That like if he was just bullied and like mistreated by like the people around him, I would feel bad for him. But like the further actions that he took, I don't feel bad for him. And like there are people who are like murderers and like killers that I do feel bad for. Like that me saying that I don't feel bad for him because like I stop feeling bad for people after they kill someone. I think the way I phrased that just made me seem like horrible. But like there are people who do kill people that I do feel bad for. Like I'd say like thinking of like real human beings here, not characters. I think like the Mendez brothers. Of course I feel bad for them. Like they were treated horribly and like so there is a bit of a difference there, and I think when I was talking in my video I seemed very black and white and harsh, so I just wanted to clear that up.
I also didn't grow up in the UK schooling system. I grew up in the suburbs of Alberta. So the way the cops talk about the school once they visit, I couldn't relate to at all. At least for me, my schools were really good, my teachers were good. My junior high did have to close down all of our bathrooms except for the one right beside our office because all the students kept having sex in them. But nobody killed anyone, so, you know. I grew up with a family computer. I spent my free time watching Minecraft School and Seven Supergirls. I wasn't allowed on social media except for Pinterest under my mom's email. But some parents just aren't as proactive anymore because they're overworked and can't be. I hope this show did kind of open the eyes of parents who have kids with unrestricted internet access. But if you need a show of a little boy stabbing a girl to death to make you realize maybe you shouldn't be a parent, that's your wake-up call to put fucking restrictions on a kid's phone? I don't. The people who really needed this show, the men this show criticizes, have the intellectual maturity and the media literacy of a doorknob, so they defend Jamie and we're calling it anti-white, which is interesting. It's based on a crime committed by a black kid, is like a main criticism. It's not based on a specific crime. The director has stated that. I don't think this show would have hit the same if Jamie weren't white. Then people would only use it as a way to call out crime as a black person issue, when in reality these crimes are a man issue. But they can't handle that it's a man's issue because they are a man, so they have to project it to someone else. No, this is a black issue, and I, a white man, am not affected, so I do not have to look inward. They have to shift blame, anything to avoid accountability. I don't think men like this are a lost cause, but I don't think therapy will help because they don't think anything's wrong and they'll just therapy hop until they find someone that enables their behavior. They need men that they look up to call them out. If it were a therapist doing it, like I said, they would just find another therapist. I've seen it with my own two eyeballs. And that's basically all I have to say about this section. For now, at least. I just wanted to use this section of the video to say that even though I was gonna make a video talking about BookTok, I probably won't now. Maybe I might one day, you know, it's not completely off the table. Commentary YouTube has kind of beat this topic through the 9 layers of hell, but I feel like they kind of just like did it by gently tapping it. Like they didn't really get to a lot of core reasons or a lot of like proper like really dig deep. Like none of the videos really scratched the itch of what I wanted people to talk about. So I might still, because you know, can't get someone else to do it, just do it yourself, you know. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I just wanted to say that. Wicked. No one mourns the wicked. I absolutely love this movie. Like, I haven't really paid attention to the criticisms of it, which I'm sure there are many valid ones, because I don't really care to listen to the criticisms of it. I like the movie. Most of the time, I only watch criticisms if I think there's something wrong with the movie, but I'm too dumb to like pinpoint it. So then I just watch someone else talk about it, and then I'm like, oh, there it is. The only criticism that I've heard time and time again is about the length of the movie, which respectfully is bullshit. Like 3 hours is a very normal amount of time for a movie, and it's pretty common as well. It's not in theaters anymore, so you don't have to watch it in one sitting. You don't have to watch it at all. No one's making you. I think my only problem with this movie is the color grading. It goes without saying that Oz is bright and colorful. Even if they did just do it to show off Technicolor. It would be nice if they paid homage to it in some way, but this is just really dull. The visuals are stunning, but they'd be even more stunning if they didn't blend together because they look like the same shade of bleh. And you know what color I'm talking about, bleh. Okay? The music is amazing. The singing is amazing. The choreography is amazing. It's all great. I'm a little annoyed. You know, Miss Homewrecker and Ariana Grande is one of those celebrities that kind of annoys me a lot for no reason. I get that from my dad. Don't kill me, okay, please. I'm begging our air fryers, please. It's just an opinion. Perfect for Glinda, though. A character who is also really annoying. Cynthia is perfect, I have no notes. Jonathan Bailey is also perfect and fruity as ever. And that's really all I have to say about that. If you don't know, and I don't know how you would know, I am a major SpiderVerse fan. Miles was one of my cartoon crushes for a while, but since I aged and he hasn't, he has been retired. Don't worry. It was a major comfort movie for me. And then when the sequel came out, that movie was there too. And I could talk about how much I love these movies for a long time. And Hobie. Hobie was there. He was there too. This is my deal. Okay, sorry. There's been a lot of discussion over what the actor who plays Miles has been saying and doing, especially toward his co-star Haley Steinfeld. People have also been comparing the way he treats her to the way Michael B. Jordan treats her. Michael with respect and friendliness towards his co-star, and the other guy like this.
It's easier to be Miles flirting with Gwen when I'm looking at Haley.
When you're looking at her, right.
I was very happy to work with Haley.
Yeah, I gotta make the movie.
I'm gonna watch Paper Moon just so I can,
So you know? Oh.
Just so I can like be closer to Haley. Easier looking at Haley than being Miles trying to get to Gwen, you know what I mean?
You said it again. Josh Allen proposed to Haley Steinfeld. And a little after that, Shamik Moore shares a post. There's still more people to meet, more opportunities to come, and more chances to try, live, learn, and apply.
I'm aware that's unfair because anyone compared to Michael B. Jordan is gonna look like dog shit. God said, I'm gonna make a guy so cool and perfect. People were blaming this for the delays of the release of the final movie. That's not true. I don't think he's gonna get fired. You don't have to be in the same room as the rest of your co-stars just doing voice. He's a weirdo, I agree. And he's been weird to other women as well. He's one of those guys who's very obsessed with the idea of dating a white woman. Which is a whole other problem that I am not educated enough to talk about it. In my opinion, the guy needs to grow up. The movie is probably being delayed because they want to make it the best they can, and according to the leaked photos, they're doing Hobie's entire world. And if you know anything about the show, Hobie is very difficult to animate, but if I get more Hobie, it's worth the wait. Next thing. It Ends With Us drama was insane, but I am not at liberty to fully really explain what happened. But to me, I thought it was a really interesting reflection of commentary YouTube as a whole right now, where you see a new story pop up and you immediately want to be the first person to jump on that story so that your video is what everyone looks to first, which is a very risky route to go on, first of all, because you're limiting your research time. You are potentially missing important things. For me, that was especially prevalent when people were talking about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni after the It Ends With Us movie. First, it was people complaining about Blake Lively being really annoying, actually. She definitely has what I like to call what about me white girl syndrome, which I have also experienced, but you know, like, it just kind of happens. When, like, in my opinion, there isn't really anything special about Blake Lively. She's just kind of there. And so when you're trying to market yourself and stand out, when you're a woman when you're a person that inherently blends in, it can make things really difficult. Yeah, there was something with, like, the way that she was marketing the movie, and then people were criticizing her for that, whereas Justin Baldoni was actually talking about domestic violence, which the movie is about. And then it turns out that Blake Lively was told to market the movie that way, and Justin Baldoni went against their wishes, and then she's also suing him for sexual harassment, which I'm usually first inclined to believe people. So it was, people went really quickly, made videos praising Justin Baldoni and then dissing Blake Lively. And then people made update videos being like, never mind. And then I'm pretty sure Justin Baldoni sued her back with evidence that what was in her first lawsuit was kind of a bunch of doohickey, you know? I don't really fully know everything about that lawsuit and then the jumping back and forth, because I was just like, I'm not talking about this for YouTube, so like, what does this mean to me? But here I am talking about it for YouTube. It's just an interesting reflection of what commentary YouTube can become when you are so focused on views and money.
Between the PR crisis team and Justin Baldoni explicitly saying that this is what they were doing. And at the time of filming my video last time, all this stuff wasn't like really publicly available. But I looked at the situation, didn't want to jump on the hate campaign, wanted to be honest about my interpretation and give my actual thoughts and my take on it. And that video has by far the most dislikes of any video that I've ever posted. On an average video for me, we're looking at like 200 dislikes. Like this one has 31,300 likes and 235 dislikes. The Blake Lively video has 4,500 dislikes. And it might have the most comments of any video I've ever posted. And they are all telling me how wrong I am and how dumb I am and how stupid I am. But then he made an interesting move. He hired a crisis PR team. All that anybody had known at the time was that there was a big rift, and then he hires a PR team. You know, it's not an admission of guilt, but I find it interesting that he hires them and then everything really blows up against Blake Lively. Interesting when we have actual documented evidence that that is exactly what Justin Baldoni did. And I was sus and raising questions and saying there is more to this story clearly, and I got blown up for it. But go ahead. And maybe now, as everybody on Twitter is taking it back, being like, everybody just wanted to jump on the hate train. Well, it was everybody. And everybody was so confident. So consider if you're so confident about something, and we are now seeing proof that the PR crisis team genuinely, explicitly went out to destroy Blake Lively's career and her image. And we're gonna get into the text. So if you're mad right now, you feel like you're called out, if you commented on the video, it's fine. People didn't, like, you are the victim of this thing. But I was sitting there saying reasonable things. Because at the time, it was not hard to see that something sus was going on, but nobody was fucking talking about it. And it fucking pisses me off. I look back at the other videos that were made about that, millions of views. And it's just like, wow, she really sucks. She is a bitch. And like, yeah, if you want to go hear about those things, go watch my previous video. I talked at length about them, and I called her dumb and stupid for multiple moments of things that she did. I think she has to include things like this. Think! And by the way, anybody who thought I was wrong in the other one and was upset with me, it's fine, it's actually fine. But the people who were commenting stuff calling me stupid, I just want to say, how the fuck do you feel right now? Like, piling on so much to Blake Lively when this is what she went through, and then the person who put her through all of this going on an explicit PR smear campaign against her, to the point that if I even suggest potentially that all of this hate is coordinated as an effort by Mr. Baldoni to protect himself from his behavior. Even suggesting that, for that to get me hate, like that tells you how insane the hate train on Blake Lively was at that time.
Where you're just jumping onto every opportunity, not necessarily waiting for things to figure themselves out, and then blowing certain things out of proportion when they aren't necessarily needing to be. And I have a video series-ish kind of planned, and like half of it's already scripted, about commentary YouTube as a whole. That might take a little bit, and I'm not fully ready to have that video out. It'll probably still be a few videos from now, or it might be the next one, who knows. But that's kind of all I wanted to say about that whole shebang. So okay, this is interesting. If you didn't know, they're rebooting the Harry Potter series as a TV show for some reason. I guess they saw it worked for Percy Jackson and they were like, we should do that. The only difference being the Percy Jackson movies were literal doggy poopy and the Harry Potter movies weren't that bad. They didn't have much to work with considering the Harry Potter books weren't really that good. And I can say that, I've read them, and I was a Potterhead, and I was in the Harry Potter fan club in my junior high. I'm a Ravenclaw. I helped them plan the Harry Potter Day event. I had a wand, a Gryffindor hat, even though I'm a Ravenclaw. When I was 10, I had a whole Harry Potter themed birthday party, and my mom popped off, like she always does. When I, scripted this part, they hadn't announced the, cast for the main kids, so I'm gonna act like they haven't yet, even though I know that they have. And I've seen it and the casting looks great, but I don't want to bully children because that would be weird, and they look great. Great casting. One of the main controversies surrounding the Harry Potter TV series is the casting of Snape. If you notice, Snape has been race swapped. Race swapping in itself has a lot of controversy surrounding it, most of it not good, but I'm not the person to discuss that. From what I've seen, people think it's pandering and a cheap way to add diversity. Again, I'm not the person to be discussing that because it does not affect me. People who are making videos just reading the description of Snape from the book as a gotcha moment is very corny. Here's my issue with the Snape casting. Okay, here's my issue. Why is he sexy? No offense to Snape, but he's not supposed to be handsome, okay? He's supposed to be kind of greasy and weird. Who is this Chad? Who? Are they trying to make me convert to Snapeism? Because it's working. If this is Snape, I'm a Snape wife now. You know what? They need to cast everyone this way, alright? Here is my official fan casting. Professor McGonagall, Bella Hadid. Dolores Umbridge will be Margot Robbie. Bellatrix Lestrange will be Rhea Ripley. Hagrid will be Michael B. Jordan. Dumbledore, Jonathan Bailey, change nothing. Sirius Black will be Marlon Wayans. Dobby will be Ryan Gosling, change nothing. Peter Pettigrew will be Ashley Walters. Mad-Eye Moody, Chris Evans, and Remus Lupin will be Jamie Foxx. Please consider my fan casting. Also, I know the original actors for these characters are also attractive. I am not trying to insult them, I am just doing a bit. I saw someone say it's gonna make James Potter look like an asshole because he'll be bullying the only black kid in school. Sorry. First of all, I'm sure they're gonna cast more black actors, either as like background characters or Hermione. Secondly, James is supposed to look like an asshole because for a lot of the series he is. Him bullying Snape was an asshole move even in the original series and the books. Come on now, you're not supposed to like him. Or maybe you are, and JK Rowling supports bullying. Anyway, that's basically all I have to say about that part. Moving on. I put this section in my script because at one point I had a lot more to say about it than I do now. People's reactions were really pissing me off. They were acting like they were being forced at gunpoint to buy it. People were bringing up the price and tech specs. Nintendo has always been about quirks and little gimmicks. They didn't form the kind of consumer base that cares about computers and tech specs. As for the price, Americans are complaining that it's $450. That's literally the price of the OG Switch for Canadians. Who pays $80 for a game? Bitch, we do. We do. And I know people might be, oh, conversion rate, whatever. I'm like, to me, my $80 economically might be worth less than your $80, but to me it is $80, and to you that is $80. Do you think I'm gonna be paying like $600-700 for the Switch 2? No. Hundreds of dollars for the game? No. And unless they increased the prices, because like I haven't really been keeping up with it, now you know how we feel. How do you think we feel? Something that is like $60 American is like 80 or 90 Canadian. Things are expensive here, and it's not the fault of the consumer. Anyway, that's another thing that annoys me, but whatever. And even though I am annoyed by the criticisms, at least the way they're going about doing it, I'm not trying to defend $1 billion company. The people who are criticizing it have their hearts in the right place, and what they're saying is valid. I most likely might buy the Switch 2. I don't have a regular Switch. I have a Switch Lite. I'm probably gonna wait until a different color comes out because those ones are fugly. There's way more pressing things I need to purchase right now, so I'm gonna be waiting a little bit before buying it. But you know, there's some like little finicky gimmicky things about the Switch 2 that I actually quite like. I just think it's fun. Like, not everything has to be like serious PlayStation. Sometimes it's just fun to have, oh, the Joy-Cons can turn into little mice. That's fun, right? Like, not everything has to be so serious. But I agree that Nintendo greedy is causing an issue. People aren't liking them, especially now that they're like saying they will brick the Switch 2 if you add mods to it. That's messed up. Like, just genuinely, like, sometimes mods are just performance based. Like, sometimes they're just there to help smooth like glitches in the game and stuff. Like, I have so many mods in my Sims 4 game, and some of them are literally just script mods to help with infants, because there were so many glitches around the infants, and there still is. So I have a few mods. If you did your job properly, we wouldn't need them. So you guys can like click off if you don't want to, if you like. I hope you have many lovely days ahead. I wish you many lovely days ahead. That's what I say. Okay, bye-bye.